Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name's Allison. If you're new here, welcome to Wonderland. Today we are going to be talking about my favorite non-bookish fandoms. Now, by non-bookish, I mean not Lord of the Rings, not Harry Potter, all of those fandoms that I adore and I've been a part of since I was really little. These are fandoms that I got into probably in high school. There's a couple that I did watch as like a kid, but I chose 5 because I knew I was going to talk about them a lot. I could go on about my favorite non-bookish fandoms all day long. So if you want a part 2 to this, let me know. I really want to branch out my channel and talk about things that I like other than books. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. Now my first fandom I'm going to talk about is one that pretty much everyone I feel like is a fan of now, especially after quarantine and more of this fandom has developed, and that would be Marvel or the MCU. I truly have always watched the MCU. I remember seeing the first Iron Man in theaters with my dad and I loved it. Iron Man was like one of my favorite characters of all time. I was also a really big Spider-Man fan as a young kid. My cousin was the biggest Incredible Hulk fan you would have ever seen. But I don't think I started appreciating the MCU until quarantine. And that's because I rewatched all the movies on Disney Plus in timeline order and I saw everything click. All the little nuances as a storyteller that I just love, I saw, and it's just been really fun to connect the dots and be able to watch the entire phase 1, 2, and 3 together and kind of see where they chose to give the hints about Thanos or the Guardians or anybody. It's fun to see those. I also really like the series. I've watched WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and Loki. I think my favorite is WandaVision. I've always just loved Wanda, but I really did like Loki. Falcon and the Winter Soldier wasn't as fun for me because I like the mystic kind of arts that comes with Loki and Wanda in their powers, but I'm very excited to see where all of those character stories go. I'll tell you right now who my favorite characters are. Definitely Captain America. I really love Steve Rogers and I just like his character. Peter Parker or Spider-Man, Iron Man or Tony Stark, and I really love Black Widow as well. Also Wanda. I feel like I could go on, but those are probably like my top 5 favorite characters. And I did see the Black Widow movie and cried, so. But I won't give any spoilers for that, but it was very good. Next up is Supernatural, which I'm actually wearing a Supernatural sweater right now. It has angel wings on the back, but I love Supernatural. I've been watching Supernatural since high school. There's just something about that show that is it's just so good. I love Sam and Dean. I'm more of a Dean girl. I like Dean's personality and he's sarcastic and he's funny and I just think I would get along better with Dean. Like, Sam, what are you talking about? Like, it's over my head, every like nerdy thing he's talking about. But I do love the brotherly dynamic. I love Cass. I love all of the different supernatural creatures we get to see and how they twist them with the lore. It's just a fun show and it's a really special show in my heart because I have been watching it for so long. I know it's over now, but we are getting a spin-off with Jensen and Danielle. They have a production company. They're doing a spin-off and I'm very excited about that. But yeah, I rewatch Supernatural all the time. It's one of my favorite shows and I cried like an actual baby at the ending of that show. It was bad. It was a moment and I couldn't, but yeah, I could talk about Supernatural all day. Next up is my favorite show of all time. And it's not like, most people don't say this is their favorite show of all time because the first season is so cringy, but it gets so much better, and that would be Teen Wolf. I love Teen Wolf. Teen Wolf was like my show in high school. I watched it every week live, not like recorded, because I had shows like that. Supernatural, Pretty Little Liars, I watched those after they were recorded on DVR. No, Teen Wolf was I had to be home for. Everyone shut up, I'm sitting down to watch this show, and it's just, I love it so much. Lydia Martin is one of my favorite characters of all time in the history of TV. Allison Argent, I have a special connection with because we both have the same initials. I love the characters. Styles is such an interesting character. And season 3B, that is the best season. 3A is when they have the Duroc, and then 3B is Void Styles. It is the best season. It is so good, and this is a show that kept me simping for Styles and Lydia for so long. I literally just wanted them together so bad. I needed them to be together. We finally got it, but those two, I was like, I can't talk about anybody else. It's only Lydia and Styles in my vision. As I go down my ships for my fandom, it was only Lydia and Styles. It's still really only Lydia and Styles, let's be honest. Next up is another one that I've been watching since I was a kid, and that would be Star Wars. I feel like that's another classic that you watch as a kid, and I definitely grew up with Star Wars in my life. I think the second episode was my second movie I ever went and saw. I remember going and seeing it. I actually fell asleep during it. I was little, but my dad took me to see it, and I just love Star Wars, and I grew up with episodes 1, 2, and 3, so those really have a special place in my heart. But I do like the original episodes as well, and the new ones are good too. I just think when you hear that Star Wars theme song in the theater, it is just so magical, and I love the world. I have a really special connection with Star Wars because when I worked for Disney, I actually worked in Star Wars launch bay, and I hung out with some Jawas for a few months, and I learned a lot about Lucasfilms, and I learned a lot about the Star Wars world, being able to hang out with those Jawas and be friends with them. So it was really exciting to do that. Like when I got that call, I was so excited. And I think that Star Wars, like my mom loves Star Wars. She has always loved Star Wars, so we go see the movies together, and I really like it. I dressed up as Princess Amidala for like way too long in my childhood. I loved Padme. Like I grew up with Padme as the pinnacle of the Star Wars women, and I loved her, and I still love her as a character. And I love the new ones. I love Rey, and I love Kylo and Finn. I think that they did an amazing job with those, although I did not like the ending for Kylo. That's a whole different video, and I can explain why. But I do love the films, and I am excited to see what Lucasfilms comes out with next. But I am excited to be back in that world, and you know, to be in Star Wars land, in Disneyland or something like that is just, it's so magical. It's like coming home and seeing like friends, and every time I would see Chewbacca at Launch Bay, it was like seeing a friend. So I really do love Star Wars as well. And my last fandom, I don't know if you consider this a fandom. I consider this a fandom because I think it's a pretty big fandom, and that would be the Hillywood show fandom. I've been watching the Hillywood show since like episode 3 of the Hillywood show. Like I am an original fan. I love Hilly and Hannah Hindi. I think they are so amazing. If I could pick their brains for 30 minutes, I would die. I would die to do this. And they really inspired me to be in film, and my love for creating. I have definitely attributed a lot of my like camera work and stuff to them. I would love to be in one of their parodies. I think that they are just so incredibly talented, and I love watching their behind the scenes stuff so I can like pick up little tips and tricks from them, you know, how they film, anything like that. And if anyone else is a fan of Hillywood, let me know down below. I know a lot of people in the booktube community are fans of them because of the Twilight parodies they've done and the Hunger Games and stuff like that, but I'm fascinated by them. I love their podcast as well. That is a really good one. And they're really interactive with their fans as well. I don't know. There's just something about them. They're filming Good Omens right now, or they're done filming it. They're editing it. And I don't know. I would love to be a fly on the wall and just follow Hilly mostly around because I find her so interesting, and the way she films and edits, I would love to just watch her and shadow her for a day. So those are my favorite non-bookish fandoms. I could go on and on about other ones. Let me know down below if you would like a part 2, and let me know your favorite non-bookish fandoms because I'd love to know. But that's all I have for you today, loves, and I will see you next time in Wonderland, loves. Bye.